All right, hello, hello. Oh, it works. All right. It looks like you can hear me. There was an update with NVIDIA again. I was like, I think I got everything. It looks like I did. Looks like I did. So for some reason, if you cannot hear me, I'm sure you guys will figure it out when I start blasting through different menus. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So in 24 hours, what do we got going on here? We got the pound dollar down pretty big. Pound over here down pretty big. Again, some of the data yesterday wasn't as great with the pound. Euro pound up about 11, about a 30% move. So it's not bad. But overall, again, seeing that pound weakness just for reverses and seeing the European weaknesses reverses what we saw yesterday. And again, yesterday was more of a dollar weakness based trade. Today is more of a the opposite end of the spectrum, right? It is more of the slight dollar strength based move. Overall, the pound dollar is probably the biggest mover percentage wise out there. Aussie dollar kind of going back to the downside as well. Dropping about 30 pips is pretty decent. Dollar Swiss, dollar yen, kind of flat. And again, we know where the dollar yen is sitting right now. The German business climate actually came in better than expected. Is it helping the euro? A little bit, not much. Their data yesterday was pretty bad. Um, so it's hard to kind of look at this one and be like, yeah, this is a great number. It's going to be strong euro. Not really there. Now, BOC data. Hello, hello, hello. All right. It looks like it's back. Maybe. Is it back now? It was working. Is it back now? It looks like it. I see it moving. Hello, hello, hello. Thought I heard something. Hello. I can see it, Neuro. If you can't hear it now, I can't help you. It was working. It was showing me that it was going through. And then I guess when you said that, I looked up and it was not showing it. Um, yeah. Well, you're just old. I mean, I can't help that, Neuro. You just need to turn the hearing aid up a little bit. That's all. Turn that sucker up. Now, it was coming through. I mean, it was working. I know because I saw it and now I see it again. But that doesn't mean that the Nvidia update didn't just kind of mess it up somehow. So I don't know. Weird, weird. Yeah. So anyway, kind of back at it. I'm not going to repeat everything. I actually had a long night. My mom actually, she got admitted to the hospital last night. She was breathing kind of. She messaged Melissa and was like, "Hey, come over. I'm really sick." We were like, "Oh, okay." She supposedly went to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, it's a sinus infection. You know, take your normal stuff because she gets sinus infections. She has a chronic sinus infection issue." Um, Melissa goes over there and she's like, "She sounds like Darth Vader. What should we do?" And the consensus after a little while was like, you know what, take her to the ER just to be sure. And yeah, they admitted her. Her like oxygen was like 84 or something like that. So yeah, she was there. Melissa rolled back in at like 4:15 this morning. So I had both little kids with me. Yeah, let me tell you, it's hard enough to sleep with Kip, but sleeping with Kip and Jin when both of them are jockeying for position with Dad. Yeah, yeah. Are you suggesting that 75 years of heavy metal somehow damaged my hearing? Why, yes, Neuro. It's exactly right. I feel like that many years of being in the gunner seat of the belly gunner seat of a B-52. Yeah, yeah, I feel like that will damage your hearing a little bit. So, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, we'll see how long Kip lets me go here. But anyway, I don't think Pal's gonna say much tonight with Buller. We may get something. 11 o'clock, I think, is the big kind of thing that we're looking for today. Tomorrow, I don't think the euro is going to change either, and I'm very, very curious to see. Again, topping out at 4.5, not as high as everybody else out there. There's still some weakness in Germany. We definitely saw that data out there. Again, the European Union is complete contraction right now. Can they go further? And really, I feel like the answer is no. I feel like we can't. Now, the dollar, 830. Advanced GDP on a quarterly basis, 4.5. It's hard to say that, yeah, we're killing the economy when it's up 4.5. There's an adjustment to 2.1, but that to me doesn't look like we're killing the economy. Unemployment claims at 208. Again, advanced GDP price index, right? Again, the price index kind of matters. Hold on. What happened, bud? Oh, he's launching things off the bed now. Advanced GDP price index, 2.7. Not really. And again, if you're not sure what that one is, it is marked as an orange, but it's the annualized change in the price of all goods and services included in GDP. You know, last time at the 2.2 was kind of like, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. Supposed to be 3, not bad. The 2.7, and again, supposedly there's an adjustment down to 1.7. So that's, again, kind of what we were looking for as far as GDP numbers. And again, there's more to it than just things included in the GDP. But come here, buds. I don't know what you want. Come here. 2.7. 2.7 is the forecast, and we'll see where we go with that one. I mean, obviously, this one, they don't hit it, but you can see there's a big difference in, July to July being up 8.7 versus 2.2. And again, it's, what I don't like is why is there no negative numbers here? Right? It's the change in goods and it's the annualized change in the price of goods and services. Well, this was up 8.2 from where it was prior. Why wasn't this down, 8.7, right? So, what's wrong, Grump Face? Come here, Grump Face. Where's your play? Come here. Where's your play? Yeah, you're still tired. Come here. You want some of my lap? Oh, you want to do chart school with everybody? Here, you want to watch Daddy's phone? Here, you want to watch Daddy's phone? He's going to be pretty grumpy today. So we'll see how this one goes here. Come here. You want Daddy's phone? Here. What you want? You want Blippy? Blip? Lifty and Scoop? You want a Lifty and Scoop video? Come on. Pick something so I can go. So we'll see. I think tomorrow's date will be affect the market just a little bit more. Oh, we got to turn that down. That's way too loud. There you go. There we go. Good job. So tomorrow morning, I think we'll have a little bit more movement overall in the markets, and we'll see. Again, maybe we get some comments today. That really kind of sets us off. But I think dollar CAD is going to be the big one. Yeah, I think are the Chinese selling U.S. dollars to buy gold? Maybe they're talking about right now that this is the largest flight of money out of China into other things. And there's reasons for that. I don't know. They're like, oh, it's making them want to go. It's like, yes, because they're taking the money elsewhere. Um, there's reasons for it. And again, it's not like it's anything new, but I just think the environment is more ripe for it. Let me give you an example of that real quick too. I mean, you're seeing these things out there about how, um, you know, obviously money leaving is bad, but in Canada they have a situation with their, with the real estate market, right? Um, interest rates are super high. So who the heck can afford to get a mortgage at this point, right? But Chinese citizens weren't getting mortgages there. They kind of have rules against that. They were coming and they were buying things with cash, right? They were using it as investments. Um, Less people, less competition for buying things. Again, better environment if you have cash, right? Um, those goldbacks that pop up in the last few years. Cool idea. Yeah, gold and silver. Yeah, crazy. Um, so that's where we're standing right now. Going across to the VIX. VIX, we've seen a little bit of a drop down. Yesterday we talked about it being lower. We had an early pop, right? We had an early kind of drop. It kind of went up, peaked at around noon, and then just collapsed. And you can see it, a little bit of a gap, which you tend to see, and again, pushing back down. Um, we'll see where we go with it. The dollar, it's up a little bit higher. Yesterday we were sitting right around here, 106.30. We're at 106.40 right now. And again, we knew we had really, I mean, actually, I guess it's not just this. I should draw this entire area because again, lower, 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 lower. This entire area, and you can see it fought and was like, oh god, we ran out of steam. Give us some help. Give us some help. And then the Europeans took over here and it's like, okay, new blood. Boom, popped it up, went through, and it's like, oh god. And now we're like kind of stabilizing, right? So we'll see if we get any movement with this one. I don't think that the dollar cat is going to affect it too much. Sometimes because of the shifts in other currencies, you can see a shift with the dollar, but I don't think it's going to be that much today. Yesterday it was again there was that initial European surge, and then once we hit like 10 o'clock, we ran out of steam. And you know, looking at the two moves, this is quite a move yesterday, and a little bit of a pullback, and this is like a third of the move, and we're already starting to run into kind of tops here. So, you know, there's not necessarily a whole lot of data today. We'll see if with us poking really, really high here. And overall, and the reason I brought this up too, this 2.7 on like a quarterly basis. Um, I'm sorry, not that one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 2.7, the price index. I don't think that's necessarily the worst of numbers, seeing it not being super high. And then again, I think GDP will be the main thing that really kind of jacks the market around. If this GDP number doesn't come in as high, say it comes in like a 4.4 or 4.3, I really feel like the dollar will start rolling back down again. People will take that as a sign of, hey, listen, the economy's slowing down a little bit too fast. And, all the earnings that we are hearing right now are pretty much the same. Third quarter, they were okay, but they're removing them. Fourth quarter, it's going to be ugly. Auto dealers, auto producers have done it. They're like, yeah, third quarter we were good, but yeah, now we're not producing any cars, so it's going to drop. And that whole saga, I don't know if you guys have been watching that at all. I've watched it a little bit. The UAE is like, oh, they had record profits. Fine, then we should get record contracts. It's like, well, you're going to take a pay cut when they, again, it's a secular industry. When they're losing money, or again, when they are making less profits, are you guys going to take a pay cut? Because the answer is no. It's kind of the same thing with oil. They're like, oh, oil's making record profits now. It's like, yeah, but for the years that they were losing money, are you taking huge pay cuts in those years? It's not a pure profit based thing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think that one's gonna. I think you can only push these things so far, right? Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's the. I agree. I understand both sides of the equation, but if I feel like the workforce pushes this too far, um, can they be replaced with automation? Is the big question. You know, and I feel like if they can do it in McDonald's, they can do it at Starbucks. In the auto industry, could they build robots to make cars? I feel like the answer is yes. Um, yeah, I just feel like we're kind of there with technology. I mean, like all the things that AI can do. So yeah, yeah. So I don't know. That number comes in. I think the dollar starts to roll back down tomorrow, with it being kind of perceived to be quite high up here. And you can see, I mean, this is it had to chunk through all this, and it did, and it's kind of playing with this now and again. Not the ideal opportunity up here, but is a 61.8. There are gaps, and you can see this kind of same thing here. You got this push here, and you got this push over here, right? So we got a couple different things to break through before this is really in a good spot. Now, all the indices right now, yeah, they're kind of in the red, right? They're kind of in the red. Just I don't even say a smidge. YM is a smidge, but everything else is again down one, down 1.5, down point 0.2. YM holding firm there, and then Russell down 1.2. So yeah, not looking like it's the greatest day. And the VIX right now, I mean, again, my VIX is delayed a little bit. It's kind of there. You're seeing it spike up a little bit. Not the end of the world. Now, oil. Oil, we talked about 83, and look where we are at 83.50. Woo! Gotta love that one. Um, Much better than 90. Much better than 100. Not as good as 70. So gotta love that coming down. Natural gas being up 1.62%. The truck did not deliver my natural gas yet, so I'm like watching this one like a hawk. It's like, hey, it's supposed to come today. Um, and be much appreciated. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's they change the prices daily, but I'm gonna be like, yeah, it was 290. What's this three crap? Go back below. Um, but again, 3 is much better than 7, what it was a year ago, so not the end of the world. Gold up to 1981. Now, 1981, not a bad year. I don't know if there was any good wine there, but they had jelly bracelets, lots of hairspray, and hairbands. So I feel like 1981, 1982 now, it's not a bad spot, up half a percentage. And again, right now, the dollar doesn't really have a whole lot of momentum. We'll see where it goes. I'd love for them to say we're going to raise one more time, but we're going to go into recession. I think that'd be great. Shoot gold through the floor. Give the dollar a little bit more push. Now, silver actually doing the opposite. So typically we see silver double what gold is. Now, gold up half a percentage, silver down a third of a percentage. Um, silver, silver is in a little bit different of a spot. It's got that 23 providing an area of sellers. Now, it's starting to rally up right now. It's trying, but 23 is going to be an area of sellers in there. The same equivalent is going to be 2000 in gold. So it's going to have to really get on a horse and start to run. So I don't know if it's going to get up there that quickly. But it's got some room. Right? It's got some room. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Melissa's still passed out sleeping. So anytime my phone like buzzes, I'm trying to figure out like supposedly my mom's coming home today. Or that's what Melissa says. She's like, yeah, they'll probably bring her home today. They just wanted to put her on oxygen to get it up there. But she has what is it? RSV. That stuff that like babies are like, oh God, that's out. Keep babies away. That kind of stuff. So yes, I see. You're so excited. It's a pink truck. It's a pink truck and a kitty cat. Um, so again, we'll see what happens. You can see it right now. We're getting close to even, and we're getting close to that 23 mark. I think that I do. I know. I see. I see. It's an excavator as well, and milk. There we go. You love milk too. I think the 23 would be the big thing. Once kind of the initial surge this morning from the open kind of calms down, um, I would expect silver to kind of turn and rotate. No, if you're gonna make noise, you have to get down. You want to get down? You can sit here up here, but you got to be quiet and watch. Okay, here. Um, and again, you're seeing silver kind of surge back from a third. Gold really hasn't moved much, right? It's. So we'll say we're up to 1984 now. We're getting better, right? Let's go to the horse of the Aussie. Actually, let's see. Is there any movement right now? Is the dollar starting to move? And the dollar's kind of, and you can see all the drama that look hit, boom. It's like, oh, and these are getting lower, right? So dollar's not necessarily the greatest spot. Aussie. All right, so we did get the pullback all the way down, and we were looking for some type of reversal in this one. You can see the red, green, red came in right there. It was actually sitting right in the zone. We mentioned this late last night or yesterday afternoon. And we said it's kind of like a Harry Potter, but again, nice little push down. And that's exactly what it ran into. It came up, it grabbed it, it stayed within the zone and dropped. You can see the 23 provide a little resistance, came all the way back down. And because of the short of where it turned, this should have been a target. Now, right now, was it a great takeoff point? Not really. I mean, it was a target first, and we got a red, green, red kind of, and it pulled back and it's slicing through a little bit. But the problem with the zone is it is a number. It's not bad, but it's already been hit once. So it's kind of like, well, there's two, right? There's one, there's two. This is hit number 3. Are we looking for this pullback? And normally you'd be like, yeah, red, green, red, love it. But it's already been there a few times, right? Right. The next level below, again, the freshest level is right there. And that's where we're kind of hitting. But right now, the momentum has been straight down. And again, it's dollar strength after a big pop yesterday. So, and if you're looking to see on this one, by the way, we mentioned yesterday that this is the data we were looking for. We were looking for a great trade setup off the news. I said, hey, listen, of everything, this is going to be the best one of the day. There's your push. And there's your reversal. Parabolic move up, parabolic move back down. And again, that was a nice little trade. And you can see it started the base and had some issues in there. So again, this was the target from the reversal trade. Again, I didn't know what the news was going to be, but I really like that setup. I really like the news of, kind of where it was. It was not a pre-base news though, right? It flatlined on us. So it didn't really give us a whole lot of telltale sign of what it was going to be, but it did have a nice response afterwards, which again, parabolic move. It was a 43 pip move, and it's only got a 60 pip ATR. So nice little run in a 30-minute window. And it reversed and again came all the way back down again. So right now, I kind of like this one to reset again. This is target first. Target is hit at this point. And again, unfortunately, with it hitting here and hitting here and kind of going through, you're like, yeah, I'm not really taking that as a long. I need a new level. And the new level is right there. We're kind of hitting. So the big question is, are we going to see some dollar weakness roll back in right now? Right. We're seeing it in the Dixie a little bit right now. And again, it's hard with the new session coming on board. Um, Unfortunately, there's not really a great zone or trade below it. Um, again, it's playing with the 61. It is finding this rally base rally. The 78 doesn't really provide much. We have these levels much, much farther down. Um, right now, again, we've kind of pushed through. We only need 28 pips to go lower. So I think I'm going to run out of coffee here in about 3 gulps, which is going to suck. Honestly, we may look for a bit of dollar weakness in this one first. Yeah. Hmm. If we can put it, if this can be our bottom, right? And again, a 9:55 is kind of a weird. You just say your 9 o'clock candle or your 9:30 candle. Um, Hold on, buds. Sorry, just making sure that message wasn't mom. Um, if this does turn out to be the bottom and we do push up from here, you're gonna have a trade set up probably right there. If it's not the bottom, it continues to deteriorate. I'd be very cautious with this one. Unfortunately, not a zone, and this is the really kind of the third hit. So, I think right now, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this come down. I'd like to see us get a um, green, red, green kind of reversal off this zone. If it doesn't, again, we know that we have short trades below 62, 69. So, kind of come in a decent area. I think tomorrow's data for this is a lot better than this one. So, yeah. Fortunately, the bet really we just took ourselves out of the top trade is really what happened, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. But if it does pull back up again, if this is the bottom and we start to rally up today, I think this could be like a 12:31, maybe like a 2 o'clock trade in there as we see dollar, kind of surging back in again. But that's the best setup we got there. Again, kind of the same thing. It was sitting there. It wasn't. We were like, hey, listen, it's a great short if it's here for news. It wasn't. It was only here. It was sitting up here in the top. And what did it do? Nice little skyrocket forward, another 63 pips. And again, we were looking for some type of a confirmation. And again, parabolic move up. There's your red. There's your green. There's your red. There, right? Um, there's your confirmation. And what did it do? It went all the way back down again. It's like this was a big one. 44. I mean, this is kind of a big zone, but you were really looking for it to break through the bottom side. And it did. Not only did it go back to the origin of the move where we based, we went to the opposite end. And we talked about 94.88 yesterday. We said, hey, listen, if you're up here before news, it's a short. If it's down here, it's a long. It wasn't. It was in the middle, but it did surge higher. And it's like, okay, give me the reversal signal. And bam, bam, bam. Reversal signal goes in. And what did we do? We went all the way back down and we tagged the profit target on the other side. So kind of in the same scenario. It went from one side to the other. Now it's washed news out. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, it's a 61 ish, but again, confirmed level we had mentioned yesterday. So it's there. Again, nice little reversal. I mean, full distance on that one, and again, it came back up and grabbed it. 90 pips, right? You would have kind of hit that same area, but you're officially out now. So is there much I can do with this one? Not really. The trade literally just took itself out, right? Yeah. It's got the same thing. See this here? The same spike. Aussie dollar at the same one. Hmm. Potty? Yeah, he did. Kind of the same thinking. If this is the bottom and we start to rally back up again, there could be a potential short sitting there. We'll just steal this one. But again, we're playing the opposite of the news trade. So again, I was really excited about that one. I love those at night. Australian news releases are definitely my favorite by far. Um, because you have that one market open, you don't have a lot of influence from anybody else. You're not preparing for like the new session yet. They're kind of on their own. So great trade. Boom. So yeah. Um, Honestly, I think there's one potential trade there. If you can get a reversal contract down here, same thing. Because of this green, again, I'm not interested in taking it long there. We've been here before, so not the freshest of some. So if we hit it, look for a green, red, green, one of these patterns. Um, so much junk, so much junk to break through. Honestly, I kind of like that one better. I don't even love that one. It's not even my favorite of levels. I think this is way too. But this one has already been pushed down. I hate when this happens. Yeah, Monday at 9:30. Thank you, Monday at 9:30. Way to mess everything up here. Yeah, ideally let this chunk all the way through. I'm not a big fan of this one. I think these are the two levels we look for. 95.26 here. Again, if it does find the bottom here, it's got a little bit of, I mean, really it can go down to this level here, the 78.6, and still be playing with it. So I think the 95.26 is not a horrible level to be able to play with, and then the 94.14 on the bottom side. This one, just be super cautious with it. It's literally pushed it to the brink, right? So not my favorite setup. Euro dollar. Yeah, Europeans took it up. U.S. session at 12, we like flatlined, and it's almost. I mean, this is literally the mirror of the Dixie, and pulled back down. And we said, hey, listen, we got kind of two shorts in here. We're looking for some type of a pullback level, and end up punching through there. Right now, it's kind of is close. It kind of missed it. So we said, if you're here yesterday, we said look for the level of basing, kind of where it came in. Um, Kind of hard because we got basing here, right? We got some basing coming in there and we missed it. It is basing in here and it's kind of chopping through. So it's like, ideally, we kind of wanted it to hit here. You know, that's kind of the pullback piece that we are looking for, but it also pushed it a little bit too far. It's a little bit farther down, and now we're hitting. It's like, oh god. So I still feel like it's going to go through. It's just not giving us the great. It still might potentially maybe here, right? But unfortunately, I wish this was closer. If this box was here, it's like, yeah, send it, right? Send it. It's just a little bit high. It was a little bit high, and then we got all this. Oh god, the indecision. So I do like it to the downside. It's making this one really hard to pull the trigger, though. What about here? Stop. Make it really hard to pull the trigger, though. Gotta tell you, really hard to find this one because it's like, ugh, give me a base, but not. It's basing above. Right now, it's playing more this game, right? But all the wicks in here, like, come on, throw me a bone here, right? Throw me a bone. Euro pound. All right, so euro pound. You can see this area again. That 61 was the best thing we had, and you can see front run, front run, front run. I think it hit it. Yeah, it did. It hit it and then came back up again. So multiple times, and it's playing with all this. And we said, hey, you got to be looking out for that one. And we're really kind of in the same spot. It's 0.06. What are we in 24 hours? Four, four. It's green, but it's a green four with all red in the near term and pulling back down again. So we're still kind of stuck in that same area. And we said, use this as a proxy. Yesterday morning, or actually, I guess this morning, right? No, today's Wednesday. Um, so with this Tuesday morning piece, I mean, literally, we hit what 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and the market stopped and it did nothing, right? All sideways movement. 3 o'clock, we got one pop, and now we're all sideways movement again. So, I'm assuming we pull back down in the 87 flat number. Again, we're sitting in the middle of no man's land here, right? 66 and 33. Not really a great spot. We're looking for this as a potential kind of sign of rollback, and we got it, but 4 pips in 24 hours, right? 4 pips in 24 hours. So overall, probably a bit more bearish on this one, but do I love anything? Would I be looking to trade anything euro pound right now? No, no, just not there. Euro yen. All right, so euro yen. We also talked about getting something in here. And you can see we started the pot. Now this one is the same thing as the euro dollar. This is a a little far away, right? A little far away. We talked about this coming down and hitting it, and we're kind of seeing it this way right now, but it's not pulling back up to that zone. So kind of hope this one pops a little bit more. If not, it's looking the same thing. It's doing the same basing in that level. Um, it's kind of doing that, but it's probably a little bit higher actually. It's probably more there right now. It's. I mean, it's ugly. There's no again, up down, up down, up down, up down, up and back down, and then finally a little bit of movement, but it's pretty ugly. Um, we're still looking for a break. I mean, the good thing about this one is we knew we had some testing in that level, right? We knew we had some pushes. It hit it again, ate up some more buyers, which is great. Kind of messed around a little bit, came down again, and hit him again. So every time it hits, it weakens those buyers more and more. So it's looking better, but it's still not great for an entry yet. I won't be surprised tomorrow though if this is sitting down here at 158. Right now, the best base is sitting right here, right? Is the listing up here. So it's kind of the same thing. Can we get a little, please? Can we get a little bit more European strength? Just go up and grab both these levels and then turn and roll, because that's ideally, that's the best setup that we have. We're looking for shorts, but we just don't have the entry zone, right? Um, we don't have the defined level of risk. So we need. Pound dollar. All right, so pound dollar. We were talking about, hey, we're going to chunk through here. We talked about there's a little level, little level, little level, little. We need a base here, and it kind of went down and then found this first level at the bottom here and chunked, and then kind of went through, and then all of a sudden, ding 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 ding, pinball, and that's what we knew we were going to have. So it is pulling up. So I would say right now, I mean, overall, let's see. I'll show you this real quick. Put this right up there. You can see it doesn't line up with a fib level, but this one has a little bit, and we were looking for more of like a near-term level of basing in here, right? We're looking for a push down and trying to get something here. Right now, this one is kind of more set that way, right? We're more looking this way. Now the question is, can we get a little bit of help right now? Can we get the you know, euro dollar, it's there, euro yen, it's there. We're pulling back up to a base. It's not a 23 yet. It would be a 23 in just the 121.06 area. So we're kind of there. But as far as the roll point goes, again, this is 13 for 41. Not a bad level. The Dixie is sitting again in an error. It's like, oh, we pulled back. There's your impulse. Is there your corrective move? Will we punch up? Can we break this on this next one? If we can, that trade doesn't look bad, right? So we're kind of sitting there right now. Remember, we do have an alert if we break through 121. We're looking for, to take advantage of this little spike over here. Um, yeah, you get it all out. Yeah, you get it all out. Are you talking to Miss Debbie? You say hi, Miss Debbie. You say hi. Here, right here. Talk here. Say hi. Hi. Say hi right here. There you go. Melt Miss Debbie's heart for the morning. Um, so yeah, decent pullback, and again, this is what we're typically looking for. Again, not really associated with news, but it is, obviously the pullback that matters. Pound yen. So pound yen kind of doing the same thing. And we said, hey, listen, we got a bunch to the downside. You can see it based, grabbed the lower and came back and based in there again. Pulled back up, came down. What did it do? It based in there again. And what did it do? It based, broke, and then went down the lower one. And what did it do? It pulled back up to try to find the same buyer. So kind of in the same position. We knew that we had a lot to chunk through. I think it's awesome that we finally broke through here. We need some clear air, and that's not down to 181.38. But how funny is that? We're like, oh, he got it here, and we hit it, and we came back up and based in the same level. Came down, we based in all this drama, went down, and then came back up and used that same level of drama to start pushing this over. So we do need this to push just a little bit more. I do like this one overall for the most part. We are kind of touching the 78, so I mean, I can remove that. We can remove that one there. We can run it kind of the other direction and see if anything makes sense. It's kind of doing the same thing. Again, there's a drop base and then a push to the downside, and we're kind of playing with it. It is an old level, so it's like, it's kind of a previously violated level, but eh, it's not as clean as some of the other ones. Hold on, bud. Let me do this toenail real quick. Let me do your toenail. Boom. There we go. I know you hate it. Let me do your fingers too. Want that to do your fingernails? Um, So I think this one surges a little bit more. It's going to need some help. Again, this is probably the dollar and the yen moving more than it's the pound at this point. Um, Again, it's more the proxy action, but it looks very, very similar to the other trades. Of all of them, I kind of like the other ones better than this one. Again, this one is kind of following the path that we drew yesterday. Um, but I think being a proxy in the yen, I think it's going to run out of steam faster. But again, there's a zone sitting there. So, but yeah, funny. Look, boom, back up and base in the last one. Drop in there, broke it, and then came back and we're grabbing. What? What do you want? Do you want me to do more? Oh, you want me to do this one? Oh, was that one? Oh, wow. You never want me to cut your fingernails. There we go. Good job. Yay. Good job. He's very into himself. So, yeah, look for this one to come down to 131. We can just change this to 40. Fine. 181.40 is where we were looking for something to tell us how it's time to go long again. But again, I think it has some problems here. Maybe we cleared and come back up, but overall, again, we drew the three-step process yesterday, and it hit it, and then came down to base, and then hit it, came up in base, and we should look to push down. So look at all these wicks. It's like, tired of wick play. Just give us nothing but good candles. Dollar CAD. All right. So dollar CAD. Yesterday, what did it come in? Did they? Let's see. Did they hold at 5? They did. And look at new home sales. Right. Look at new home sales. They finally got a little bit of help there. It's not bad. Not bad. Right. But overall, we talked about this being a Canadian weakness-based play. You can see that the 930 candle loaded it up. It wasn't really in a zone, and then we punched higher. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Again, we called for it yesterday. Maybe we look to see where the top is for a rollback on this one. Right now, it's not quite there yet, but we called it. 37 pips, a nice little move. It didn't quite pull back. Let's see, maybe on a lower time frame. Did it pull back in a level? There you go. You can kind of see it there on a 15, right? The 930, the 945, the half hour beforehand. What did it do? It came back, it loaded it up, and right there. Again, pretty standard news-based move. We were calling for a short. Again, we had to go to a 15 to see it. So again, just be aware of that. It's a little bit harder to see on a 30. But again, we always talk about kind of a telltale sign of what you expect to see once news comes out. That pre. Hold on, stop. That pre-news movement, and there's your pre-news movement. The 2 candles before. Normally we say an hour, hour and a half, because we're looking at it on a 30-minute. Oh, owie! I didn't do anything here, baby. You little baby. There. Again, loaded it up into an area and pop. So right now I wouldn't put a top on it. Kind of see where it turns. You'll see a red, green, red come in on this one. So, here, you want this? There. Where you want this? Here, put your finger in there. There you go. Look for a reversal on this one. We're probably at 35 now. Yeah, 36.5. So we should be seeing a top and kind of a reversal back down again. So easy news trades. We talked about that one yesterday. If there was no raise, a 5 would be weak. A cut, which we knew wasn't coming, was going to be weak, but they weren't going to raise. But yeah, nice little pullback. Easy trade. Dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss. If we push this across, you can see that it did not go to its full potential yesterday. It made it to a 1 to 2.93. So most likely on this one, you got stopped out right about there. Oops. Right there. Most likely that's where you got taken out of it. And again, what happened is we just ran out of time. It was late last night. It started to grind down again, and we started rolling back into the European session. And there was, we knew that there was a little area here that was going to be a little bit risky. But this is one of those trades that it just took forever. It initiated at chart school, right, at 9:30. And we drew it, and it just, again, very, very slow base trade. Most likely you got stopped out at a 1 to 2, and sometimes you got to do it when it just is doing this. We're like, nope, there's nothing. There's no trend anymore. It just died on us. You want to make sure that you trail it very, very close. Okay. So right now we talked about, again, anything to the top side. We were looking for kind of this is somewhat of a target. Again, very hard to draw a zone off of this, right? We had the basing, the pullback, and then it kind of spiked through. So we don't really have anything clean on this one until we get all the way up top here to the 89.93. Overall, this zone is pretty much done. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is what broke and it pulled back. And it actually kind of did do its own Harry Potter there. I will leave that one on. It looks like some of the other positions where they pulled back to a zone here. right? Obviously, in reversal, they were doing it on the way down. This one did it on the way up. So ideally, I'd like to see this push higher. We got to move about 35 more pips. It's got a 62 pip ATR, 21 pip 4-hour ATR, so it's got some room to run, right? But overall, not a bad spot. I think that's where we start getting a little bit more extended up top. So again, maybe it grinds. Maybe we see this one turn and roll. But again, the Swiss were typically looking for nice, clean setups. Again, the nice, clean setup comes up top here. Okay, so some more room to run. Dollar, yen, and we're still sitting. What? Yes, da. Hit down, hit down, hit down, hit down. You're like, why is it doing that so many times? No, we're not going to knock the little bit of coffee I have left over. Nope. No, no, no. Yeah, it's not yours. You cannot have coffee. You're a baby. Um, so this is yeah, this is big sellers out there trying to protect this one. Is it at a point now where we reverse? That the what? That is almost done. That's almost done. We'll go downstairs, change your diaper because you stink. Um, we've talked about this. Everything else is kind of surging higher, but we're just hitting a brick wall. Again, the brick wall is 150. Use caution with it. There has been some pullbacks from it, nothing substantial. We're not seeing massive amounts of dollar weakness yet, but when dollar weakness does come in, this should accelerate a little bit farther down. And there's a couple things. Pal speaking, is he going to do it today? Probably not. Tomorrow, though, GDP stuff, durable good orders. Could that do it? Yeah, it could. I mean, right now the forecast on the durable good month over month is 1.7. Guess what happens? And again, manufacturing number what did go out of contraction to expansion, but what if this forecast and what if the actual comes in at 1.5 or 1.3? Still positive, but not as strong. That's considered a dollar week based news move. So we may see this actually start to tick down tomorrow from kind of here. Okay. If we're still holding it. Again, I don't think we changed trajectory too much. So again, dollar yen, bearish. Am I ready to pull a trigger on this one? No. Because we don't know when the, any type of intervention is coming in. Like how much longer can they sustain this? But again, 150 is quite high. Crude. Let's look at crude. So crude yesterday, obviously we were out. We talked about that one being out. We talked about 84-ish, being kind of a target, 84, 83-ish. Is where we were looking. And you can see we came down and we touched a low of 83.10. And we're kind of sitting there at that low right now in the last 24 hours. It did pull back. And again, I don't think it is. Let's see. Was it? I wouldn't be surprised if it is a fib level. I missed it by a little bit. Probably did it off one of the other ones. Anyway, we were calling for this yesterday. You can see not only did we go through the 84, we said, hey, use some caution. That's where it's kind of smashing now. It did go much, much lower. So again, we were looking for that Harry Potter. That Harry Potter is officially out. We did get plenty of the basing up top. Again, we talked about all that yesterday. Oh, my phone just went off again. He always does that. He's like, I'm gonna poop as soon as you hit the go button. All right. So in oil, I would say look for potential reversals coming in here. And again, not long-term reversals, but we do have. Oh my god, I hit the button. 82.70. All right. So 82.70. We're definitely within striking distance of that. We got to look for this as an area where we've been supported. We've seen buyers and we're kind of getting there and we've kind of hit it and we kind of hit it again and hit it again. The question is, will we run out of steam here really, really quickly? Again, the earnings is what's really affecting this one. People buying new homes, so again, it shouldn't be too bad. I would say right now, oil is the way that this is setting up. It's setting up for tomorrow morning, right? Um, Durable good orders, price advances, unemployment claims. Again, if unemployment comes in lower than expected, there, I fixed it. Also one of those things. If this comes in lower than expected, there's more demand on oil. So we should, again, there should be some a little bit of a reprieve in oil. Again, I'm loving it. Keep going lower. Again, I'd love to see 298. As I said last weekend, Waze took us like a kind of a back way, and I saw 309, which was awesome. We're not 309 here. We're like 319 here, but I saw 309. I'd love to see 298. 298 is like my dream right now for gas prices. But know that we are approaching levels where we've had some buyer support. There was this, obviously a contract rollover in this case. So how much longer can we go down? Remember, with this dropping back down again, is OPEC Plus, who's not going to change anything till, are they going to make any changes after they've lost what, from Friday, $90. After losing $8 in what, 2 weeks? Oh no, that's no, since Friday. No, like five, no, 1 week basically. Losing $10 in a week. Are they going to be motivated to, increase oil supply because everybody says they need it? The answer is no. So I don't think we're going to get much reprieve there. It'll kind of push back down a little bit, but OPEC is like, nah, see, we told you, China's soft. They're coming out on top on that one. So again, still like a bearish, but I do think we are at a reversal time, so we can find kind of something somewhat decent in here. Again, look for a reversal. Natural gas. Again, I actually, we talked about it before. Natural gas, $3 was going to be a big thing. You can see we kind of hit $3. We kind of came up in front run, hit it again, kind of came back, and we're basing on it right now, playing with that $3 mark. Big psychological level. Um, there's a little bit here, but we really don't have much until we get back up to the 78 level. It's at 309, right? 3089 actually. Again, with the winter kind of coming in, I mean, I think it's weird. It was 48 degrees this morning. We're definitely in fall. It's supposed to be, somebody said like 73 as a high this afternoon. We're doing that, 30-degree temperature swing in one day type of thing. Okay, yep, you go, give it to daddy. Give it to me. Give it to me. Almost done. Um, I think natural gas has more room to run. Again, I hate to say it, but I think no, we're not installing Google Play. What are you doing? Here, you love Halloween. Here, you love Halloween. There you go. See and scoop Halloween. I think we got some room to run on this one. I don't think it's going to be a quick shoot up like this, but I think we will continue to grind higher. As soon as somebody walks outside, I'm like, oh my god, it's cold. God, it's cold. I think it pushes higher. So again, oil. I think oil's got a little bit more room to run. Potential for reversal right now. Natural gas. I think it's got a little bit more room to run before its reversal comes in. Gold and silver. Still confused. Still confused. Again, a little bit lower. We're back to 1977. 1977 was not. I don't want to say it's not a great year, but it's not. It's whatever. It's not as good as 76. That's bicentennial babies. We got it much better than the 77ers. Nobody's proud about being born in 1977. We did see this one pop up at 9 o'clock today. Again, gold kind of went up, and immediately, as soon as the market opened, it's like, nope, pop. We slammed it right back down again. So just some positioning, some profit taking. We talked about 1979, and again, we kind of had the 1, 2, and the 3. We said, hey, listen, be really, really careful with this. And again, it made an attempt. It made an attempt. It made an attempt. Started the base, and you said, oh crap, it's starting to put buyers in here. It's starting to build up those buyers to punch through, and it did. It was a quick strike up and down, and we're back in the same spot. So overall in this one, again, I still think gold is a little bit high. We talked about how 2000 would be a big deal, and then obviously like 1950, 1900 would be big ones. We're still kind of maintaining. We're not really much different. Yesterday we were sitting here at 11 o'clock. We're basically in the same spot. It really hasn't moved that much, minus that one spike up and down at the U.S. Open. Will tomorrow be a better day for gold? I think so. I really do. None of the news this morning really was necessarily gold focused, but I think tomorrow is a much better day as far as what we, where gold could go. Silver, we talked about it, 23 this morning. We were like, oh, look at that. It's trying to go positive, but it's going to run into 23. And what did it do? It went up, and it actually 2301. It hit 23. Okay, I'll play with you in a sec, buds. There. No, you don't. You go do it. Here, go. Go. He wants me to play with him so bad. You can see 23. Uh-oh, yeah. Go get it. Um, Obviously a very, very big area. We know the 23 is a big deal. And again, if it was 2000 in gold, that's the same thing we would be seeing, right? It's trying to accelerate. We'll see if gold starts to follow suit. Again, it's one of them is positive, one of negative, so it's kind of confusing. But again, it's an area that we've hit 1, 2, and 3. We'll see if we can break down all the way to this 2235 area. Again, tomorrow I think will be pretty decent for silver. Let's see what else kind of mix we got up here. Dollar. Again, dollar it's struggling. It's like, oh god, just push it. You got lower highs confirmed. You have lower lows confirmed in there. So maybe it's a channel. I think we do need to be a little bit careful that there's an area right here that we may, come down and then surge off of. Not surge, but like probably more like that. There's an area there, right? But right now we have some weakness that's coming in, so it should be fine. Let's look at the indices. The indices are all pretty negative. Yeah, that was from yesterday. You can see it took us out. That was with profit. Great. Another fruit fly. 1, 2, 3. Not interested in taking another one. So that would not have qualified. Here's an overnight level. 3 o'clock and 5. Love that. But when you look at the level, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not stopping, and it didn't. So you would not have been using that one. On the top side, You can see 8. Let's go. Let's get this dialed in. Let's see. Do we have a good one? No, 8:45, 9, 9:15. Sitting right on the level that's been hit 4 times. No thanks. Could you have taken a short on that one? Yeah, it would have been kind of an educated guess, but it wasn't a true setup for us. It was a level that's been hit multiple times, over 4. So we're not interested in using it as a long. The spike at 8:15 was like, it was all right. It's all right. Yeah, not much in there. Let's see. Here's going to be kind of where I see the turning point today. Again, if we come and hit this, I don't think there's enough negative news out there today, but I don't know. Maybe because everybody's like, oh, we're changing earnings. Earnings are going to suck. Earnings are going to suck. Earnings are going to suck. It's like, yeah, but you know what? Services and manufacturing were higher than expected. So you can say that. And understand a lot of this. Some of this, the data is not true right now. Again, with that auto worker thing, that affects a lot of different people. Like, is the economy really broken, or is just that company sector drama is what's breaking it? Is really the true thing. Is the world ending? No, no, they're having a labor conflict right now, so it's kind of like an existential problem that is not really the true economy, right? People are still spending money. Um, there's still demand out there. I mean, we just saw a whole bunch of people buy new houses, so it's not, the world is not ending. New home sales was 100 something thousand higher than expected, so the world is not ending. But again, not surprised that it dropped. The level was kind of dead. NQ, here you go. Look, whoops. I hate when that does that. Again, there, boom. Yesterday at 1 o'clock, we hit it and kind of broke it, and then we kind of broke it again at 3 o'clock, and then hit it again. Right, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. You buying off this one? Heck no. And it did break, and this one actually has room to run all the way down to this level. So this one, so it looks like NQ has the ability to get even worse today. Continue to drive down, and it looks like it wants to. We'll see if it reverses. But again, same scenario. You came down and we were literally basing here, but the zone was hit already 4 times, so you're not going long off of that one. So that's not what we're looking for. YM pulled up 9:15 and did go back into a zone. Now this is kind of one of those ones you're like, do you take something like this? Kind of hard. It was confirmed off of a gap here from Tuesday morning or like Tuesday night. There was a hit there, and it did. The 9 o'clock and the 9:15 were both green, pulling up into an area basing. And if you didn't use this one, which is kind of where you need to put that one, even if you would have used this one, you can see it did not break, and it just went woo off to the races to the downside. So, of all of them, YM actually did have a pretty decent trade. Wasn't the ideal kind of drawing of zones and confirmations in the overnight, but it absolutely pulled back from 9 and 9:15 up into a level where there were sellers confirmed in the overnight. So kind of a trade setup there. And again, this is the strongest of all of them, but you can see it's heading straight down, right? It's yeah, falling off a cliff there. So again, nice little trade at the open. Again, if people can figure out how to trade from 9:30 to 10, there you go. I mean, if you're able to catch these things, it's like, man, off to the races, right? I know I told you guys this story before. I had an old student of mine. He's passed away now. I hate saying that. It's like kind of like, oh yeah, he's dead. He passed away 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. He used to day trade SPY weekly options and did nothing but day trade them in the first hour, 2 hours, something like that. He mostly used SPY because that, again, that one is SPY moves the most. But yeah, options on SPY, and he would day trade them weekly, so they were pretty cheap. And again, these type of things would literally be around for like a half hour. Dude did really well, really well. Yeah, definitely missed the guy. It's amazing. Guy worked for the government forever, right? I want to say he worked for like he was not a. I think he worked for the post office, but like was not. I don't know when I dealt with him, he wasn't. Or no, maybe he worked for Treasury. I think he worked for Treasury, maybe. I don't know. He's either the post office or Treasury, one of the two. But he was like inside, so like he wasn't a mail delivery guy. He didn't deliver letters, but he was like one of those guys that was like definitely. I don't want to say tinfoil hat guy, but like he's like, nope, this is the reality of things. A little bit more negative. No filter. One of those type guys. Probably. When he was young, probably smoked like Lucky Strikes with no filters. That kind of stuff. But man, he was good. Just cold hearted when it came to the market. Really fun guy. And he was great at strategy building. Yeah, he would have loved this. He would have been all over this thing. I don't know why this right here made me think of it, but man, this type of move, yeah, yeah, Day trading weekly SPY options for moves at the open. There you go. Russell. Russell did the same thing. So Russell did not as clean, right? The 9 o'clock was green, and then it started to go a little bit early. It did pull back. It did pull back, and again, this is one of those ones you could say, well, wait a second, there's basing there. It didn't quite hit it. I mean, I guess if you made it a little bit bigger, it's like, oh yeah, then you're like, well, push it to the brink. You wouldn't have taken it. I think that the writing was on the wall that it was going to be more of a negative today. Honestly, the YM was the best setup in there. Again, yes, would you have taken this one? It wasn't pulling up. It did. The 9 o'clock was, but it was about to smash through the zone for the fifth hit. You're looking for those breaks. NQ, same exact thing. Look at it. It had already been broken. Looking for that smash hit. YM, again, we'd already put a top in and we were kind of pulling up and we had a failure to go higher. Again, pull the trigger. Even if you wanted to pull the trigger here, be like, yep, there we go. There's our red, green, and our red kind of slamming through. Huge trade to the downside with no major zones. So decent enough setups that you guys could have traded at the open today. None that were like just dropping the hat. Like, yep, that was the easiest one ever. But I think YM is a great example of, again, how you can trade those things at the open. Okay. All right. With that, wow, it's not bad. I did it at actually 10:30 today, so that's pretty good. We will go ahead and do the drawing. Now, yesterday obviously got screwed up. Debbie said ticks, and I didn't take that as tickets. Right? I was kind of like, what is she trying to say? Yeah. I'm gonna let it go till 3. I always let it go to that round number. That the whole number philosophy, and we'll see how it goes. Now, Neuro won yesterday. There's only 2 people in, so Neuro got a cheapy. There's Neuro and Marina. Here we go. Man, look at that stop. Not bad. I ran out of coffee. I don't know, 10 minutes ago. I dumped a little bit of water in there just so I had something with caffeine in it, but yeah, it's just not there. Oh, speaking of caffeine, I know. Let's leave the suspense here for a second. Speaking of caffeine, did you see that Star or Panera is getting sued that their lemonade has more caffeine than Monster or something like that? I was like, what? Yeah, I'm like, no idea. I was like, I saw it right before. I was like, wait, what? How can you have more than Red Bull and Monster in lemonade? So I don't know, but yeah, Panera's doing something funny with their lemonade, guys. If you didn't hear it, just want to let everybody know. All right, winner of today's drawing is Ernest takes it with 10. Almost even, almost 50. Yeah, at 52%, close, right? We needed Debbie or Will. Will will never do it. Marina doesn't do it. So maybe we need Debbie. Debbie needed to buy 2 for 50-50. So there you go. You stop Neuro's you know, ease of acquiring things. So let's go over here. Let's give you your where the heck are you at, man? You're falling way down there. Debbie kind of busted you a few times. Or was it Debbie or Marina? I think it was Marina. Neuro got you a couple times too. Right? They got you a few times in there. So that happens. All right, with that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. As I said, I think overall, love the Aussie trade last night. Maybe we'll get another repeat today. Again, this is a nice number. It shows that people are still spending money and taking on obligations. Tomorrow morning, again, this is probably going to be a European-based weakness trade, followed by some interesting dollar trades coming in. So before we meet, again, there's a lot. And again, this is awesome because this is an 8:15 European release instead of those 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. things. So this is awesome. All right. So with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you then. Take care.